Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in Gyaneshwari Bhavartha Deepika, that is commentary on Bhagavad Gita by Gyaneshwar Maharaj, chapter 18, verse number 50. Siddhim prapto yatha brahma tathapnoti nibodh me samasenaiva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya ya para. Here Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that listen to me in brief. O Arjuna, how after attaining perfection one attains to Brahman, which is the highest state of wisdom. What is perfection? Perfection is equanimity. Perfection is the witnessing. Perfection is being in samadhi. How do you convert this knowledge of the self into an all-encompassing self? That is the instruction that Krishna is giving. What instruction will you give to this house space? So this house says, my existence is depending on the walls. My existing, where has that photograph gone? Where has that painting gone? Where have those people gone? Without them, I have got no purpose. But once it realizes that it is independent of all people, it is independent of all hangings in the house, curtains, air conditioning, cold, heater, light. Because of it, the walls are. Because of it, people are. Because of it, all the objects in the house are. Space did not know that. Like individual does not know that. Then space says, yeah, I'm not all that. I'm not the walls. I'm not the door. I'm not the windows. I'm not the light. I'm not the darkness. I'm space. Oh. Yes, all these come and go. But you have always remained the same space. Yes, so true. When it realizes that it is the space in spite of all the conditionings, it is called state of perfection. Now, that is Atma, that is the self, that is the different words, that is the witnessing consciousness. Or it can be also called as, what other word I used for it? Equanimity. Equanimity. Awareness. I am that awareness. I have come to realize. I am not disturbed if the world is there or not there. I am not disturbed if the four or five koshas are there or not. That means the gross body, the air body, vital air body, the mental body, the conceptual body, all these, the I am not. I come to know that I am the one, I am other than the waker, dreamer, sleeper. I come to know this. But now to convert, what is the next stage? The next stage is the expansion of this self to be the infinite one. Otherwise, what will happen? I know I am the self. All these fellows are ignorant. when he comes out of meditation, or he comes out of samadhi, or he comes out of a lecture, I am realized, I have got no doubt about. What about you? No, I am hungry. You are body identified, right? You are nowhere close to realization. These people are like that. So, having come to this stage, then how to expand and how to be the all-pervading self. Another word for all-pervading self, Brahman. If there is, because at the relative level, what is our understanding? That there is a cause for everything, isn't it? We are living in this relative world of cause and effect. Thinking is in cause and effect only. So what are we thinking? That consciousness is the cause of everything. Without consciousness, body, breath, mind, intellect, the world cannot be. I have understood. What is the cause of the world? Oh, you can say it's the deep sleep, it's the desires, it's the avyakta, the unmanifest. But you have come to know that I am the consciousness and I do not come and go. So is the avyakta, the unmanifest potentiality, is it that which doesn't come and go? No, it comes and goes because it manifests and it unmanifests. So, is there a cause for it also? Just like consciousness is transcendental to manifestation of the mind called waking and dream, and unmanifestation of the mind called deep sleep. Similarly, is there a total consciousness because of which the total potentiality becomes manifest and unmanifest? Because in the relative, there are the spectrum is individuality and totality, isn't it? So we have to sort out the totality and we have to sort out the world. Till the world is not sorted out and till the gods are not sorted out, till then all pervading or ever abiding or that this self alone is the infinite reality, this will not come about. Towards this, Sri Krishna is guiding the mind of Arjuna. See? And we are not talking about a concept, we are talking about you in your essence. Krishna is not addressing Arjuna, the son of Kunti. He uses that word because he wants to bring out that quality by different names that he uses. But he is addressing the soul, he is addressing the consciousness in Arjuna. See? So when I am talking to you all, I am not talking to the body, I am not talking to your senses, I am not talking to your mind, I am not talking to your intellect. You may be listening, but the communication or
transmission.
Okay, not transmission, that is too much responsibility, man. Not transmission. But here the engagement is of consciousness with consciousness. Because none of the matter vestibules, body, breath, mind, intellect, they are incapable of understanding what is being told here. They are incapable. And if they have understood, they are taking you for a ride. But the only way of communication is the words, what to do. Same topic is coming in our Amrit Anubhav also on Sunday mornings. So here we were in the 988th OV, and here he says, where are we? 988. Okay, we can start from 980. Just recap. When a granule of salt is dropped in water, it becomes water. When a person wakes up from sleep, his sleep along with the dream ends and he resumes his conscious state. So if he hears the instruction of the master through good fortune, his mind sheds the notion of duality and rests in the nature of self. This is not possible. Very rare few are there for whom it is possible by themselves. Majority of the masters, majority of the students, seekers who have become masters, they always had a master. See? I'll give you one example only of Swami Chinmayananda. When he had he was studying with Swami Tapon Maharaj, 7-8 years, I think, something like that. And one day, because Tapon Maharaj was getting old in Uttar Kashi, and as he was getting old, he could not walk down to the river Gangaji because he used to take bath there and wash clothes. So he said, I will do everything. And one day he brought back washed clothes. And he went in, Tapon Maharaj went in, tore the clothes, tore the langot, and came out. And some other disciples, students were also sitting. He said, look, he calls himself, I am a sevak, that I am helping, and he brings back torn. Now what am I supposed to wear? He tears my undergarments, he tears my top garment. He says, no, Swami, I didn't do it. I washed it, I dried it, and I brought it. It was all okay. So I am telling lies. He argued. Next day, again the same thing. Third day, again the same thing. Every person for 1 week or 2 weeks or whatever the time, I don't know all the details, but for continuously for few days, Tapon Maharaj, kings used to come, other great masters used to come, other people are coming. He did not miss one opportunity to tell everyone that this Chinmaya tore my clothes. One day, and he could not convince Tapon Maharaj that he has not done it. He said, I'll buy new ones. He says, who cares about your new ones? I want mine, what I had. But you tore it. Anyway, after 2-3 weeks of this consistent, putting him down, Chinmayaji got frustrated, and he says one day the water was above he couldn't breathe. He said, oh, I did not do it, and maybe you don't want me here, and he walked walked away. Took his sannyasis always have only little bit to carry. Took his jhola or whatever book he had and walked towards Uttar Kashi, 250-60 kilometers down. He had come walking, so go walking. And why? And on the way he's thinking, why Tapon Maharaj why Gurudev is doing this? Why is he speaking like this? Why doesn't he know? Has he gone senile or has he lost his head? This, that, I never did it. And this, and I never did it, why I am being blamed, and it went on and on and on, and he 2 hours went, he's walking. In the meantime, Tapon Maharaj sent another disciple, go and call Chinmay. So he ran and eventually caught up with him, and he told him, Tapon Maharaj has called you back. Tapon Maharaj has called me back. Came back. Guru Agya. The moment he came back, Tapon Maharaj, you stand straight. You tore my clothes. The first word he says, you tore my clothes. Chinmayananda at that moment realized. He said, yes, I tore your clothes. Or he must have kept silent. I don't know all that. That was the moment of complete surrender. See, if there is no teacher, to make you go through that experience. How would you know that you are still arrogant? How do you know that the ego is still present? You may be doing hours and hours of meditation. You may be a great lecturer. You may be very good in Sanskrit and understanding all the scriptures. But the residue of this arrogance is there. That only a teacher, this enta, this I am, not as I am somebody. This only the last brush of perfection is brought about by the master. It may be through an incident, it may be through words, it may be through mere looking at you, kataksha netra, from the corner of his eye. It may be through a touch. But we are not going into all that. Here we are going by instructions. Swami, not Swami, Ravan Maharishi used to bring about this brush, the spark in everyone just by remaining silent, just by looking at them. See? So, here he is saying that our condition, that I am the consciousness, and this consciousness is the infinite consciousness. When it is heard, how it should be heard, the disposition, because there is no disposition for the individual to merge into the. What is your disposition when when the waker goes to sleep? He forgets he is a waker. How can you talk about it? How can you talk about it? Now you are merging into the infinity. How can you talk about anything? There is nothing else but infinity afterwards. See? And for that, these examples were given. When a salt doll looks at, wants to know the depth of the ocean, it merges with the ocean. It cannot become with the ocean. Become means still retaining its identity. No. It loses its identity. Example, in Amrit Anubhav it was taken, the river loses its identity when it reaches the ocean. The salt doll loses its identity, its form, its ahanta when it dives deep into the ocean, and so forth. The examples were taken. Another example that was taken is when a person wakes up from sleep, his sleep along with dream ends. So now he is awake. What happened to the waking experience, the waking house, the waking people, the waking relationships, the waking replace all waking with dream. What happened to that dream wealth, dream wife, dream husband, dream children? In one moment, you give zero value to it, isn't it? How much can you remember from that dream? Hardly anything. Hardly. Vague. Sometimes if it has made a big impact, vague recollection. Nothing concrete. Same way, when we wake up from this waking dream, what will be your recollection of this waking dream? Vague. As if there but not there. So if he hears the instruction of the master through good fortune, coming of this strange, but this topic is coming in Kathopanishad also, this topic is coming in Amritanubhava also, and this topic is coming in Gita also. Not planned, it is happening that way. It is our fortune here, grace, that our ears, that we are available to transformation. We are available to it. We want to understand. We are seeking. We are thirsty. There is an urgency within us to know the truth. And when that urgency is there, when we have recognized the emptiness of this world, then this urgency will come. You can't be attached to the world and urgency is also there. It doesn't work that way. It's like your tummy is full and you are still hungry. It's not possible. If you are hungry, then tummy is not full. If tummy is full, you cannot be hungry. Same way, when we have worked out that this world has got no answers for us, then this urgency, then how do I emancipate myself? How do I reach nirvana? That urgency brings the scriptures into our life, brings the teachers into our life, brings, in fact, the nature keeps presenting such incidents in your life when we are urgently seeking, which are conducive to your growth, provided you don't react to them. So you keep negotiating. If this is, what is there to learn from this? What is there to learn from this? Every moment of your waking existence, there is some event going on. Are we open to learning? If we are open to learning, then that event has become a teacher rather than a memory. We don't want to collect memories. We want to learn and move on. You negotiate through traffic. You don't carry the memory of the traffic. Your goal is on the destination. You negotiate through traffic, you are aware, alert, vigilant about all that traffic which is coming towards you or driving along with you. You continuously negotiate, but you don't creating a memory of which car, that was very nice car, wait, good go, bang, accident ho jayega. That doesn't happen. Why? Even though that is only a superficial, for that moment you are aware of it. But we are focused on the destination. Same way, when we are living our life, we forget our destination. That's when accidents happen. So don't forget the goal. Don't forget why we are born. Don't forget the opportunity that we have had as a human being. Firstly, to be born as a human being. Secondly, to be interested in scriptures. Thirdly, we are able to understand the scriptures. Fourthly, we have a teacher in our life. The scriptures by themselves have come into our life. The teacher has by himself or herself come into our life, like Gyaneshwari Maharaj has come. I have not taken this Gyaneshwari Maharaj for so many, almost 15, 17 years. I did not. I love him, but I could not, I did not take this text or Amrit Anubhav. Why? When the time is right, it will come. There is no why or why not. It just didn't happen. So when he decides to express through this equipment, then it is his wish. And that's what is happening. When it is his wish that these fellows should listen, so it is happening. Not everyone is not listening. Some are sleeping while listening. Some are distracted while listening. Some are drinking water while they are listening. Tea, eating food, watching news, lying down and listening to satsang. Like this, it doesn't happen. Because it requires extreme, now that opportunity is there, without you doing anything. Only thing was you are thirsty to know and things have come into your life. Now, rather than take it as a matter of fact or take it as if it is your birthright, both ways we will make the wrong conclusion. We will not put efforts. But when you take it, my God, it has come to me. Here he is saying, by grace, understanding takes place. By grace, you are exposed to it. By grace, the masters come into your life. Then we must not waste any time. We must straight away reach the destination quickly. Because that destination that we are trying to reach is already attained. It's already attained. We just don't know it. Why don't we don't know it? Because we are worldly oriented. We are desire oriented. Replace all desires with desire to know the truth. So if he hears the instruction of the master through good fortune, his mind sheds the notion of duality and rests in the nature of self. Yesterday, in Kathopanishad also, yesterday only. What was the topic? Whom should we listen to? The scriptures? Any Tom, Dick and Harry. Nowadays, every Tom, Dick and Harry is a yoga teacher. 1 week course, 2 week course, 6 week course, and they have become yoga teachers. So anyone can pick this book up, anyone can read what is given there, and anyone can give a lecture. Giving lecture is not very difficult. It's not very difficult. But why I am giving lectures and the classroom is getting empty? Why is it happening? If we, from listening point of view, if I am the student, whom do I want to listen from? Do I want to listen from a person who talks about truth but doesn't know the truth? Whom do I want to know the scripture from? Who himself has many doubts about many things. Do I want to listen from someone who teaches something and practices something else? That's hypocritical, isn't it? Integrity is not there. Whom do we want to listen from? We want to listen from a teacher of integrity. We want to listen from a teacher who is well versed, who is belonging to a parampara, to lineage. We want to listen from a teacher who is himself improving himself, or himself is urgently seeking the final destination. And in that process, he is communicating because it keeps him in the remembrance of the truth. We want to listen from a teacher who is, if not close, at least abiding in the truth. If not abiding, at least close to the truth. Who is practicing the japa, who is practicing the meditation, who is doubt-free, who is doing samadhi abhyas. See? So the closer the teacher is to the truth, that much more impactful will be his words. Isn't it? But if the teacher is established in the truth, whatever he says, it can never be just like that. Yes, he says those words just like that. But to the disciple who is available, they are Brahma Vakya. They are Brahma Vakya. Story of Chinmayanandaji. Story of Vivekananda with Ramakrishna Paramahansa. And such there are many stories. See? So whom are we listening, hearing from? These are direct words of Gyaneshwar Maharaj. It is his Vani which has been noted down. Yes, it is being spoken by this person here. But the thoughts, the ideas, the examples, the logic, everything is Gyaneshwar Maharaj's. Then how will I do justice to Gyaneshwar Maharaj? How will I, as a teacher, do justice to Gyaneshwar Maharaj? Follow the tenets that he has presented, practice the sadhanas that he has given, and most of all, feel at one ment with him. The more the teacher is at one ment with Adi Shankaracharya or with Patanjali's Rishi, or if I'm taking that text, or here with Gyaneshwar Maharaj, in Kathopanishad with the Lord of Death, be one with him. Otherwise words are very difficult to come out. You are groping in the dark. What do I say? Oh, am I getting it right? Am I speaking it right? Should I have not said this? Should I have not said that? Are people able to understand? We'll get lost in this only. But when you are completely in your heart and mind, you have given it up to this young master, Gyaneshwar Maharaj, then allow him to speak, because he has already realized he is all that there is. The self with no boundaries, with no divisions, with no coming and going. So he is at this very moment, he is in our heart and mind. Access. So this is how you should also listen. This is how I should also talk. Be one with, be close, feel him, that you are not, that he is not an idea in your head, that he is not a form. No, he is one with you. When we listen to a teacher, or the teacher speaks while abiding in that, then such words are potent in their, whatever they need to communicate, it gets communicated even before the word reaches the ears. Even before the word becomes a thought in the mind, whatever that word needs to communicate, bang, the spark is lit. This you have to, and it is happening to you in different aspects of your life, it is happening to you. But you have to catch it. You have to catch it. Then can anyone say that there remains any action to be performed by him? Such a person who has come to realize the infinite self, can there be any action which is still remaining to be fulfilled? Because what is action? The gross expression of a desire, subtle desire, isn't it? Ignorance leads to desire, desire leads to activity. And for whom is the ignorance, desire and activity? For the ego. And not for you, in a sense. It's for the ego. So you have decided I am ignorant. Then why? Automatically you start desiring the world. And then start prodding like I did today. 10 hours of work. Babre. Why? The water is leaking in the garage. Is the water leaking through our senses? Is the world leaking into our mind? Is the world able to find able to seep through the senses into the mind and make its home? It's not possible for such a person who has listened to the teacher, master correctly, remaining conscious, remaining alert, remaining vigilant, not towards anyone, but towards the self, which alone is, then alone. So when I said before that proximity to Gyaneshwar Maharaj, but Gyaneshwar Maharaj is in my heart as the Atma. He is another expression of this self. This subtle understanding becomes available only when we are surrendered and have faith and reverence towards the teacher. Otherwise this, and it's okay. The teacher will keep talking, keep talking, keep talking. If not today, maybe tomorrow it will click. If not tomorrow, after 1 year it will click. If not after in the next life it will click. Teacher will not give up. The masters never give up. They keep coming. The Lord keeps sending more and more sannyasi, sadhus and realized masters. Question is not whether master is there or not. I gave you one example a few days ago, in few classes ago. One person who used to come to my class, she has never been to India. But graced by Satya Sai Baba, guided by Satya Sai Baba, never met. These things, you may call them miracles. Till she saw the photograph, you may say it is miracles. No, it is not miracle, it is grace. You become a seeker, you are 100% guaranteed taken care of. For your further growth means what? Cessation of desires. That is growth. Your urgency increase, that is growth. Urgency will increase only when cessation of desires. How to bring it about? Understanding. Automatically the scriptures come, the teachers come, the circumstances come. It's uncanny. It's very uncanny. There's no why, when, where, what, how, nothing. There's none of these questions were there. When the student becomes ready, the teacher comes. And this is our experience too. And for such a person who is abiding in the self as the result of instruction from the teacher, for such a person, how can there be any action left behind to do? Once you have woken up from the dream, do you feel the urge to complete the unfinished actions in the dream after waking up? Arey yaar, I was at the church, I was going to put the ring on that girl's finger and I woke up. She must be waiting for me there. Yeah, imagination, but dream is only an imagination. I'm making you dream while you're, yeah, that's a good option. So, you don't think twice about the dream. So while living in this world, when you are focused on the truth, on the self, through the instruction of the teacher, and as a result you have come to be the awareness, you have to come to be the self, will you be interested in sorting out the world from your mind? Understand, to abide in the self, you have already sorted the world. After you have abided, once you are abided, there is no world to sort out afterwards. There is no action to fulfill. There is no desire to be fulfilled. There is no action to be performed. Everything is as it is. Is there anything like coming and going possible in case of all pervading sky? Today's satsang I began with the space. Is the space coming or going? No, it is all that there is. It is the constant. From the empirical world point of view, space is the constant. Without space, air, fire, water, earth cannot exist. See the fun. Without space, air, fire, water, earth, on the earth, all the plants, because the plants, all the human beings cannot exist. What is space? That which exists in its own absence. So then everything else is zilch, has got no meaning. Oh my God, you are playing with our mind. No. No, we are not. Yes and no. Yes, so that you come to know who you are. No, because without examples like this, you will not become available to the truth that you already are. Without examples like this, you, the consciousness, will not be available to the consciousness that you are. You, the self, will not be available to the self that you are. And so, whether there are stories, whether there are logic, whether there is neti, whether there is anvaya, the all-inclusiveness, whether it is, what do you call, Ishvara Advayavad, whether there is the position of duality or nihilism, does not matter. All these are different ways to present the reality to the seeker. You find out which one you are clicking with. Like you choose your partner. Our chemistry must match. With which scripture your chemistry is matching? Mental chemistry. Which one? I teach so many things, but there are certain favorite ones. Huh? That is any time. Without a doubt, there remains. Where are we, man? How come? Without doubt, there remains nothing for him to do. But in the case of a particular seeker, it so happens that he does not become one with Brahman immediately after hearing the words of the preceptor. So this is the next topic that is starting within this verse. We are on 991. खाना वचना चिए भेटी सरिसाची पै किरीटी वस्तु होनी उठी कवणी एकुजो यर्वी स्वकर्मा चेनी वन्ही काम्य निषिद्धाचिया इंधनी रजतमे कीरदोनी जाळिली आधी पुत्रवित्त परलोकू ययाति हिंसा अभिलाखू घरी होय पाईकू हे ही झाले इंद्रिये सैरा पदार्थी रिगता विटाळली होती तिये प्रत्याहार तीर्थी नाणिली कीर आणि स्वधर्माचे फळ ईश्वरी अर्पुनी सकळ घेऊनी केले अढळ वैराग्यपद. Beautiful. Little bit I could understand. even though it is old Marathi. What does he say? He says, but in the case of a particular seeker, it so happens, this is a particular, who is this particular seeker? Who is not available 100%. But his urgency is there, he is a adepta sadhaka, he is doing his, but sometimes objectivity remains in the mind. Objectivity what? I want to know the truth. We are not able to get out of this default setting that I want to know the truth. So now truth becomes the goal and I am the one who is going to reach the goal. They forget that the goal and I are one. And for this, it's so deep in our system, in our psyche, that even though we all have heard it so many times through so many scriptures, still we have not accepted it. Still we have not accepted it. Still we are not abiding in it. So here he says, but in the case of a particular seeker, it so happens that he does not become one with Brahman. He has come to know he is the self, but he has not come to know that he is the Brahman. That means he is the substratum of the whole creation. He is at one ment with the whole creation, in the whole universe. There is nothing else in this universe. This whole universe is only a projection. Well, I'm going too much into explanation. He has not come to realize the all-pervading consciousness, which is the substratum of the universe. For such a person, what happens? He goes into meditation, he goes into samadhi. When he comes out, the world is still there. The body is still there. Past and future is still there. I have to do sadhana is still there. See? And it's okay. He'll give solution for that also. So what is to be done? He does not become one with Brahman immediately after hearing the words of the preceptor. This is our case. We have been reading our 18th chapter. We are still here, giving lecture only and listening only. What has happened? I don't know about you. Maybe you're just taking me for a ride. But I am a seeker. I am a seeker. After hearing the words of the preceptor, it may be that he has kindled the fire in the form of performance of his prescribed actions by feeding it with the firewood in the form of motivated and prohibited actions and burnt the rajas and tamas qualities. Maybe many times it happens. What is it? You go back into your life and you think, contemplate. What is that one event, that one incident, that one brainwave which got you interested on this spiritual path? Suddenly made you turn around and be ready for this. Unknowable, knowable. What is that event? So similarly, our job, when we are teachers are always speaking, whether silently, whether just whatever they are talking, realized masters, their every word is potent. Or acharyas like us, we are continuously teaching. Sometimes someone, he comes, that person may come only for a moment, or that person, many times people have said, Swamiji, last time, or day before yesterday, I was at someone's house, and they said, Swamiji, 2 weeks ago in Bhagavatam, you said this, and I have been contemplating on it. See? So that means touched a chord in that person, and that person for 2 weeks was thinking about it. Instead of about the world, in the background is thinking about that. So same way here he says, maybe the person has not come to realize the Brahman, and then he realizes, why I have not come to realize the Brahman? My conviction is 100%. I don't doubt it. I am in Samadhi also. I go into Samadhi also. I live with awareness. Then why still, why am I not able to be at one ment with the infinite consciousness, Brahman? Why? Because he still feels, maybe, this is only maybe, there is still tamas and rajas in his mind. Maybe still he feels that he is not purified enough. This is how we talk to each other, no? That we should not have any regrets, we should not have any expectations of the future, regrets of the past, because they are sins. To think of past or future is sin, and all thoughts in your mind are only about past or future. Oh, then we have heard it somewhere. There is tamasic, there is rajasic, there is sattvic. Bhagavad Gita also I told. Oh, I never knew it. I only came to know sattva, rajas, tamas after I came to Bhagavad Gita. Now you are caught up. Now it will not go out of your mind. So now you learn to look at the world in a different way, that it is in this world there is an expression of purity, dynamism and inertia. So why are you not able to take the final jump from the self to the infinite self? Maybe the corruption of inertia and dynamism is still lurking in the mind, which is sabotaging the final merging, isn't it? So for such a person, he feels, oh, I have to purify. Some people are so focused on purification. Because we say it also, Bhagavad Gita also says it, that you cannot realize the self, you have to purify the mind. How much time does it take to purify the mind? It's not a trick question. How much time does it take to purify the mind?
No time.
He says no time. What did you say?
Just if it's click you.
As long as you decide. If you decide it takes even 1 second, you have not accepted it that you are that. Teacher says no, scripture says Tattvamasi, you are that. You have not accepted it. For Nisargadatta Maharaj it took 2 years. For us, 25 years still going on, man. Why 25? 45 years. If I take my journey began when I was 12-year-old. From then it's still going on. Must be a really hard nut to crack. See? We get caught up in experiences, we get caught up in siddhis, we get caught up in imaginations. We get caught up in duality, because when we take God as an object of to be propitiated and surrendered to, we have created duality where there is no duality. When we seek a reality, we are seeking that which has never been away from us. See how we are sabotaging ourselves. So as long as we do not 100% accept ourselves to be the self, how much time does it take you to be the self? Right here, right now. In spite of everything. Or nothing. You talk in this language, फिर लगे रहो. Because it will keep you. You may experience samadhi, You may experience the witnessing consciousness, but to convert the self into the infinite self, there is still some integration which is not complete, objectivity which is still being harbored within the mind. In other words, mind is still functional, it has not dissolved away completely. If the waker mind has not dissolved completely, till then sleep does not begin. So say, what has to be done? What has to be done? I am sleepy, I am sleepy. If you keep focused on I am sleepy without wanting to, without think, no, I have to think of sleep, only then I'll get sleep. You will never sleep. You will never sleep. Find out what is that missing ingredient which makes the thought of sleep also vanish. For the waker to surrender and abide in sleep. What is that missing ingredient? What is that disposition? Every night you have the opportunity to observe your mind, how you are gliding into sleep. Catch that moment when you are thinking of sleep, and I tell you, many days you will keep missing it. You begin with, yeah, today I am going to do it. And before you know, that day when you want to do it, before you even think the thought that I have to observe, you have gone to sleep. And you will keep missing the point, that particular moment. It cannot happen by wishful thinking. So here he says that he does not become one with Brahman immediately after hearing the words of the preceptor, teacher. It may be that he has kindled the fire in the form of performance of his prescribed actions. So maybe the words of the teacher, listening to the satsang, our Sanatana Dharma, we have to follow that Sanatana Dharma. It is the eternal righteousness, the eternal duty that we have to, I am committed to it for long. Look at what is happening in India today. Just by few words of Modi and Aditya, that UP Chief Minister, the whole Sanatan revival is taking place. People are becoming proud of being Indian. Britishers made us feel low about our own culture, about our own scriptures. But now the whole revival, now the whole history books are getting changed, and the truth that where the mathematics began, where the science began, where the doctrine and all, it did not begin from Europe. 3,000 years ago, the Charaka Samhita is written, 4,000 years ago, maybe even older. In that, first dental surgery is given, all the instruments are given in picture. A picture means their description is given. So all this was kept away from us. So what is happening? One word of all the woken up people, people with integrity, when they speak, suddenly the entire youth population of India and the other people of India, they are becoming awake to their own tradition, their own culture. They don't think that it is just an empty one. They don't think it is only a superstition because they were taught that way. But now they are feeling proud. They have the pride that, oh man, I belong to that. And once the history books are become the mainstream, by next term it's starting, I think, especially in the colleges, and everything will change. Exactly the same way. Because whose is the narrative? Narrative is always of the powerful. The conqueror sets the narrative. Who is having the narrative in Bhagavad Gita? Krishna is giving the narrative. He is the all-powerful. Isn't it? Whose narrative we are studying? Gyaneshwari Maharaj. Who is he? Who has perfected himself and is still alive in hibernation or in samadhi after 760 years in Alandi. You can say he has conquered. He is not there to prove that I am 760 years old. But he has attained, he has become one with the consciousness. He has realized himself. Otherwise, no person can write like this. But when such a person speaks, maybe it ignites a spark in the ignorant one, that I must live a righteous life, that I must stop stealing, that I must mean what I say, that there should be integrity of thinking, speech and action. Something that I must raise myself from, I must discard laziness, that I must discard workaholism, that I must expose myself to silence more and more. After exposing to silence more and more, I am of the nature of silence, and I am not disturbed by the activity or no activity. Oh, that's the next stage. So keep expanding, keep perfecting. Keep perfecting. Because it's not a straight line. Narad Muni, one of the first saints, sannyasi. So first the creator had 4 sons, Sanat Kumaras. They always remained 12 years old. They are realized masters. Their younger brother is Narad Muni. And this Narad Muni, when he moved around in the world, he learned the 64 knowledges. Everything that was there to know about this universe, of this creation, he learned. Dance, music, debating, languages, everything, physics, chemistry, mathematics, whatever, everything he learned. 64. There's nothing else more to be learned in this creation for him. Yet he was feeling empty from within. He still was not feeling fulfilled. Still he felt there is some lack. Why? And that cry came out. He was thinking. He did not voice it out to anyone. He was just thinking, why is this emptiness? Why do I not feel fulfilled? The moment this urgency came, why am I not feeling fulfilled? Even after knowing everything, what is more there left to be known? The urgency began. Immediately the teacher appeared. Who was the teacher? His elder brothers. Like Gyaneshwari Maharaj's elder brother is his guru. So the elder brothers came. Well, brothers, hello, how are you? We are come. You are feeling empty inside? How do you know? No, don't ask that question. We know. Yes, I am feeling very unsettled. I am not feeling fulfilled. They said, we know why. Why? You have not fallen in love. Papam, love. I am a brahmachari, I am a sannyasi. How can I fall in love? They say, you have not fallen in love with the Lord. You have got the knowledge. Where is knowledge? At the intellectual level. Jnana and bhakti, knowledge and devotion, they complete each other. Only knowledge leads to arrogance. Only bhakti can lead to attachment. But when both of them come together, or the acme of devotion is knowledge, and acme of knowledge must be surrender or devotion. If that is not taking place, then we are missing the point. So here he says, excuse me, it may be that, so like when he got the satsang, unasked the teachers came to Narad Muni and they said, they diagnosed the disease straight away. We don't have to sort it. We only have questions, no? They came and sorted, you fall in love, who is he, where is he, how do I get to him? Only when he allows you can have his darshan. Then what do? You take Om Namo Narayana, lage raho. And he left those 64 vidyas, knowledges aside, and he held to the name of the Lord. See? Even after knowing everything. So maybe a completely ignored person, if that person is brought to the satsang, so we must never be shy that we are going to a satsang. Tell people openly, tell people with, with full confidence, I cannot come to the party because I am going to satsang. You want to come? Come, we will go together. It's not a private, you should share. Just like we are sharing with anyone and everyone, you should also share it without feeling that, I don't want the people come to know that I am doing satsang. It's ego. Because someone did the same thing to Nisargadatta Maharaj. They used to call him every day, he never went. One day he went. His friend who took him there, he has been going for years. Did he get realized? No. Nisargadatta Maharaj went once, listened to first one lecture, 2 years later, he was realized. Maybe you are instrumental in making someone become available to this knowledge. So we must share this. We must share this. Either by way of books or by way of invitation or by sharing what you are listening or discussing them with them, not necessarily at such depth, but wherever they are. You become, I'm not saying become a teacher because that automatically happens, you cannot decide that. But if you have genuine interest in that person and in their happiness, then you will steer the conversation to something higher. You will try to invoke something greater which is lurking and hidden within them. That will be through laughter, through their daily examples, just like we do. Through just observation, whatever. All examples come to us. We don't go to any example. Question is which example comes out at that time. There are many examples. See. Today also I will not be able to complete this. Yeah, it may be that he has kindled the fire in the form of the performance of his prescribed actions by feeding it with the firewood in the form of motivated and prohibited actions and burned the rajas and tamas qualities. So he has given up the prohibited actions. Once upon a time, before I went to the ashram, I am talking about 92, 93, 94. So it must be 92, 93. I used to do, every day I used to sit in meditation. Three times I used to sit. And that time I had some vices. And when I am in my zone for good 1 month, all the vices will leave me. And when I am immune to this. Even if it is in front of me, I am not interested in it. Why? I am doing sadhana. And when I see that I have achieved it, I will stop doing my sadhana. Then those voices slowly, like the water is seeping into the garage, the voices again used to seep into this system, into the mind. And again, I will become a slave of those voices. Then again I will do it. This went on for 1.5 years. 1.5 years. And then one day the bell rang inside that, hey, you are in a pattern. You are in a pattern. Practice, they leave. Don't practice, they become the winner. Practice, you become the winner. Oh, that realization itself was a profound one, that man, I'm caught up in another, what do you call, in default situation sort of thing. And I became mad. Nobody knows, but I became mad in my room. That what is the solution for this damn thing? How do I come out? And that's when, from inside, the mantra was told. Nobody initiated. Inside the mantra came and the mantra started. See? And what is that mantra for? Again, because always consider that you are right at the bottom. Never consider that we are at the top. No, I have controlled my senses, I have controlled my mind, I can do samadhi, I can do this. Gone. Acha, the world will show you, your mind will sabotage you. Because that is an egoistic statement. So always, my sadhana every day begins with relaxing the body, watching the breath, doing the japa, then contemplation. I don't take this body for granted that it will settle down. No, I have to settle it down. Because I get into the habit of, I have already transcended it, I can't, nothing affects me. That thought itself is enough for this body to seep into the mind and start taking control again. Start placing its demands again. So never, always remain a seeker. Always remain I am nothing, I am just a beginner. When you consider yourself to be a beginner, then there is a possibility of improvement. But if you already decided I am the 30 mark, I am the, nobody is comparable to me, then there is no scope of improvement. Like a person who has learned Vedic chanting, it's very difficult to undo that person and teach them again. But a person who's raw, very easy to program that person. And I'm just Vedic chanting because there is a recent example, but there are so many in any profession. Like when we were in an ashram, about 60 students joined. Only 26 passed, but 60 joined. And one person came, he was a sannyasi, he said, I want to join the course. So Swamiji said, yes, you can join the course, you are more than welcome. Are there any conditions? Firstly, he did not sit at, you have to wait for the teacher to give you a seat. Or you remain standing, that is the tradition. He is a sannyasi, he should know that. Or have you already decided that I am a sannyasi, he is a sannyasi, and we are equals? This is from Swamiji's mouth we heard. So Swamiji was sitting on the chair. He went and sat on his bed. He did not touch his feet. He is the acharya. You are going to be learning from him. This arrogance that I am a sannyasi, you are a sannyasi. When Swamiji saw that arrogance, He said, when he asked, what do I have to do to prepare? He said, yeah, you have to do something. What? You have to give up these ochre robes and you have to wear white clothes like every other brahmachari. He says, I am a sannyasi. How can I give up my ochre robes and wear white clothes? He says, if you can't do that, then you cannot come and study. See, where all we get caught up, hung up. This is all hung up, or hang-ups we have. I also used to have, I prefer lighter colors. But when people started bringing all Eastman color clothes to me, instead of getting worked up, before I used to get, why did you get this one? I wear only this light color, why did you get this color? Afterwards, one day I thought, oh, what the bloody hell, I am being stubborn about, I want only this color. They are bringing with so much devotion and effort, and I have got no concern. I am just telling them straight away, no, I don't wear this color. It took me some time, but slowly now it does not bother me which color I am wearing. See? Suddenly, but it requires self-introspection. It doesn't happen just like that. If we are available to that event, then, and we are alert, and our attention is on the higher. If I am teaching and my name is Swami Paramananda, Swami, I am Paramananda, infinite bliss, and I am always complaining and crying. So, what is your name? I am Swami Paramananda. What does it mean? It means infinite bliss. Cry. See? It has to click. Then he may have brought under his control like a servant his craving for sons, wealth and heaven. These are the three Eshanas, Putreshna, Vitteshna and Lokeshna. Putreshna is desire for children, that our lineage must continue. And they only, grahasthas means married people are not guilty of this. Sannyasis are also guilty of this. Mahamandleshwars are guilty of this. They want to continue their parampara. The lineage must continue. Then second is Vitteshana. Vitteshana is desire for wealth. Without wealth, how can I teach? If there are no ashrams, Swamiji, you are telling there should no Vitteshana. Where did you study scriptures? Ashram. Was that not built by someone? Yes. Did they not give donation? Yes. So it helped you? Yes, it helped me. But it's not for me. The journey is personal. We are not here to judge the whole world. But understand, things happen in miraculous ways. But where majority of the people's attention is outside. What is true for you? You are not looking at what is going to be conducive for your growth. So are we going to get caught up? Maybe. There is one person, there is one Mahatma, he has got the Siddhi of Lakshmi. Millions of dollars keep coming to him unasked. Unasked. Devra Baba used to be there. People used to go to him. He will just take this. He used to sit on the mattress. He will just lift the mattress and put his hand in there, and whatever money comes, he used to give it. Sometimes sackfuls of them. Where is that money coming from? There's no fountain of money there. Where is it coming? Things happen like that. But he is there to give happiness to people because they have come with that. He is a mirror. They want money, they get money. They want instruction, they get instruction. We, on the other hand, we only live for wealth. We feel secure if we have wealth. Wealth is not only money. Wealth is all wealth. Putreshna was the children was also wealth. But here wealth is siddhis and the worldly wealth. And the third is the lokeshna. Lokeshna means name and fame, desire for name and fame in the world. That is one way of understanding. Second way of understanding is lokeshna means desire to go to heavens. There are 7 heavens. Bhurva Svatapa Janamaha Satyam. So desire to go there. Those who are caught up in the worldly name and fame, or they want to go to some heaven. Why? Because there you do not get old and you don't get any disease. Wonderful. Yeah, pain here, pain there, pain everywhere. That's what we are talking about, self. Self here, self there, self everywhere. But you replace the word self with pain here, pain there. In heavens, no pain, no old age. No hunger, no thirst. All desire satisfied. Wow, I would like to go there. When people get caught up in these, then they forget the ultimate destination. And therefore it is told that maybe here that they may have brought under control like a servant this craving, this desire, this attachment for sons, wealth, putreshna, vitteshna and lokeshna. He may have cleansed the holy waters of the sense restraints, his wayward senses defiled by the enjoyment of sense objects. Meaning, he has practiced Shama Dama, he has reached the Pratyahar. Here, Gyaneshwar Maharaj uses the word Pratyahar. He says he has come to the stage of Pratyahar. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar. What is Pratyahar? Pratyahar is a stage where the mind, even if the senses are open, it does not leak out of the senses to get attached to the objects of the world. That is Pratyahar. But to get to that stage, what was Yama? Do not disturb the world, don't get disturbed by the world. What was Niyama? Live a disciplined life. What was Asana? Do not learn to be still. But at a more superficial understanding, but it's okay. It is at the body level, do not be disturbed by comfort, discomfort, heat and cold. Very necessary. Then you will move to the next one. What is that? Ashtanga Pranayama. What is the purpose of Pranayama? Yes, one is that it becomes slow and shallow so that it only moves around in your nostrils. Your body is absolutely still. But the other understanding of Pranayama is that we become free from hunger and thirst. That does not become the mainstay of our mind. Whole day we are only eating or drinking. If we have conquered the pranas, if we have become the master of pranas, if we have become the observer of witnessing the pranas, it will lead to non-interest in hunger and thirst. Because your satisfaction is coming from you have gone to the observer. The more the pranas are agitated, when they are agitated more, when you are thinking about the world, the pranas are agitated more. When they are agitated more, you want to eat. Stressful person eats more, isn't it? A calm person automatically eats less. Why? No agitation. If there is no agitation, there is no, the breath is not going in and out fast. Then pranayam, then comes Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam. then comes pratyahar. So just like body was undisturbed by heat, cold, comfort, discomfort, pranas was no reaction to hunger and thirst or conquering hunger and thirst. Similarly, coming to pratyahar, we conquer likes and dislikes. They are at the mental level. Mind has become so calm that it is disinterested in everything. What was it interested in before? All object stimuli. Now, even though they are there, he is not interested only. That is the state of equanimity. Now it has to, next stage then comes dharana, dhyan, samadhi. So, he may have followed all the paths of spiritual disciplines to attain the vision of the pure self. And lastly, after he met the preceptor, the latter may have instructed him in the knowledge of the self, withholding nothing from him. This is a secret topic which will be expounded in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Sit quietly for a few moments.